Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, September 12th. Yeah, you read it right. This is 101 items to sell on eBay. These are items that I have sold recently within the past month and a week, month and a couple weeks probably. This is a little bit slower season, so what I was wanting to do is this is typically a sales update video. Um, but it also gives people items of what's actually selling. Everything that I picked up in this video is either from a garage sale, it's either from um, an estate sale, thrift shop, garage sale, flea market. All this stuff is just the typical stuff you go out as a reseller and pick up. There was no special. I'm not doing any online arbitrage. Um, no special deals made. All of this stuff is just stuff we just go out and pick up, as most resellers do. So we'll get started here. And I do want to say this is probably going to be one of the longest sales update videos out there. So if you can't make it through the whole thing, that's okay. I just thought I would do this. So let's get started. Okay. No, sorry about that. Okay, this first item, it was picked up at a garage sale, I believe. Ugh, I can't even remember some of the places I got this stuff. Um, but this is one of the cappuccino slash coffee maker machines. What I did was actually when I bought it, I was carrying it in and I dropped the little container for the cappuccino and it busted. So I waited and I actually found another one and put it in and it sold. I got $51.99 for it. It was a couple bucks. Oh, we got a ton of items here. Okay, so I sold this thing a couple times. So one guy didn't pay for it. One guy didn't know how to use it. So, but yeah, it sold again. I did get 300 for this. This vintage electronic stuff is really important that you test it. Make sure you leave it on for a while because a lot of these vintage electronics, when you run them, they may run fine for a little bit, but a lot of times they just stop. They turn off. So it's real important to run these and run them through the functions if you're going to expect to get this kind of money out of them. I've had this for a little bit, a couple months. It was a really good, it was at a garage sale and take the time to clean this stuff up. On this, I got about 76 bucks plus $22 shipping. It's a hard to find. There's not many out there. And it's just, there's a lot of the original boxes back there. It's just really a good item. It's Scalextrics. It's made out of England. So if you come across a lot of these old racetrack sets, you can get money for them. There's some track parts that actually are worth a lot more money. I don't know if you can see like the crossovers right there. Those can be worth some really good money on a lot of different track sets. Not just the normal, the tracks, the straights and the curves, but the specialty ones like the chicanes and stuff like that. That brings extra money. So it's a good thing to look for when you're looking for the racetrack sets. And this is older too. I mean, this is from the 60s, so. This is a Pioneer reel-to-reel. I got two of them. One of them worked great and the other one just had some issues with it. So what I did is I parted it out. And it was fun for me because it's vintage electronics and I like going through the stuff. And you can make really good money off this one unit. Quite a few of the parts sold here recently, so you'll see here that parting out vintage electronics can really bring in some decent money. I got $35 for these two. So these are the VU meters. And all you do is you'll go and you'll, snip enough wire. And I don't know why it's not coming out. I don't know if you can see down here, but you just snip enough wire for it to show up to where they can splice them together. And here's a roller that I got. I sold 2 of them off that same machine. So, I mean, it's just all you do is you unscrew it and sell it. This is one of those old hard drives that I had somebody tell me they're not worth selling. Don't waste your time with them. They're not in demand anymore. But yeah, they are. It's like the 20 megabyte hard drive. These things are old. And just make sure you uh, disclose whether, was it working when it was pulled from a machine or if it's junk parts. And here's another one. Some good money in these old hard drives. Here's a reel-to-reel that did work. Beautiful, beautiful Pioneer reel-to-reel. These vintage electronics guys, I'm telling you. Like for me, what I did is I went and I actually serviced this myself. As you can see, shows the pictures, how clean it is. And it means a lot when you're talking. And just this picture right here where it shows, I have the actual motor out. I took the motor out, I greased it up, oiled it, and made sure that the pins were right inside to hold the shaft where it's supposed to be. Because with a lot of reel-to-reel players, one thing you want to check when you're getting them is you grab the spindle holder, you put the reel on it and you pull it in and out. And if there's more than just a little bit of play, then your motor's loosened up. So just one of the things you check out whenever you get those. Here's another part. It's the head unit off that reel-to-reel. I mean, they demand money, guys, or command money, I'm sorry. And with this one, I did say one of the heads needs the wires soldered on. I mean, I was really clear about that. But yeah, that's something somebody would typically throw away. I've already made off those other sets of parts. We're probably talking $100. This is that really cool leather wrapped phone. I got 25 plus 8 shipping on this. And it's just a neat old, probably 70s, early 80s telephone. It's just stuff I love. So when you see this stuff, don't think it's just worthless. I picked this Braun electric shaver up. Depending on the model and stuff, you can get some decent money out of these electric shavers. And this has that the cleaning unit, and it takes cartridges to go on the bottom, so you need to make sure the renew system, I put in the description that it does need the cartridges. And whenever I like do something with like shavers and stuff, you want to show that it's actually clean, because nobody wants to get a dirty, nasty shaver that's full of, old nasty hair, and you can sterilize it with alcohol and stuff. I picked up these at the little animal or cat rescue thrift store for $4, I think. And I ended up getting for these $30 shipped. So it looks like I took $21 or something like that on it. But yeah, pet grooming, hair clippers, stuff like that, they really do sell well on eBay. This is one of these feedback builders, offset, defect offset items. I got a ton of the old user or owner manuals for a lot of old motorcycles and stuff like this. I made a deal with somebody for a bunch of them, and I priced them cheap, and I've sold a ton of them, and they're just really easy to pack and ship, and so yeah, I'm getting close to being out, and I had like 400 of them. This was a really neat item that I had no idea what it was, and I think it was $2, and a Stanley D Ringer hand pliers, a hog ringer gun. I think maybe this is what you can put the tags on their ears with. It's got these little things, and when you, let's see, yeah, when you pull a trigger, it pulls it out like that, and then it ends up doing that to it. So I had no idea what it was until I looked it up, but it was a tool, and it looked older, so I ended up getting $50 plus 5.35 shipping on it. I mean, for a couple bucks, that was a really good deal. So you just, there are so many things. I mean, you can be an experienced reseller. I mean, we've been doing this for years and years, but you're going to continuously come across things that you have no idea what they are. Um, and then it's just from there, once you learn what they are, then it's a really easy way to just keep putting this stuff in your database in your head. So from now on, guaranteed I'll know what something like this is. Yeah, Kim got this I think for $3 at a yard sale. The zipper's broken, um, and there's like two zippers missing and all that. But it ended up selling. I think I ended up taking $15 for it. Oh, but this is the one they never paid. So, okay, I still have this. Sorry about that. It did sell, but it was a zero feedback buyer. It was just one of those ones you deal with. Yeah, it did sell for 15, and yeah, the case got opened. That's right. The case got opened, and I ended up getting my credit final value fee. So I need to relist this. Yeah, it's nothing special. Okay. And it's a kid size too, so yeah, it looks cool, but it's got some nice embroidery on it. Found a couple of these old records that were sealed. Um, I mean, this has some issues on it. Although it is sealed, you can see, and I put that in the description. It's got a little bit of, but yeah, I ended up, I think I took $13 for that with $4 shipping. Um, yeah, this little remote control boat. Um, if you ask me, I mean, for the name, it's pretty cheap. It's not one of those high-end, super fast boats, but we put it in our pool. We drove it around a while, and it works good. So, but it was pretty neat. I ended up selling that for $30 plus $15 shipping. Yeah, so that was a pretty good little deal. When you buy lots of Nerf guns, you're going to get ones that just don't work. And so you have so many people out there that mod these Nerf guns and need extra parts. A part in there is broke or something like that. List them. List them. I put in there that there are 4 parts, that these take batteries and do not work when batteries are put in. They're being sold for parts. So, I mean, it's just, so I sold them. I think I took $20 for them, and $15 shipping. But yeah, I got those with that big Nerf lot I got, and I probably could have fixed them, but I got so much stuff, no time to waste. Sorry about that. This is, we've talked about these uh, water purification systems. I've gotten several of them over the past few months. The only thing we can really think about, because there's available down here, is, through Hurricane Katrina and stuff like that, they had these. They'd gotten these and they've used them and they've set. over time, and then now they're just deciding to get rid of them. So, and they sell for really good money. There, a lot of preppers want these. Um, they want to put them in their, I don't know, their kit, I guess. So if something happens, you can take creek water, put it in this, and it'll clean your water for you. But they have new, improved. These things sell for a lot of money, brand new. And I got 235 on it. This remote came with a busted up one in a box. So the remote was still new, and I just donated the broken VCR thing. So, and it sold pretty quick. I guess people lose remotes a lot because remotes sell really well. This was a pretty neat item. I got this at a church yard sale with a bunch of other really high-end games and stuff, and they've already sold. And I held out on this one a little bit because it was just really rare, I guess. And there was a couple little pieces. I mean, this thing is still new. It still had all the stuff, but there was a couple little pieces that were missing. So I waited, even though if it would have had all the pieces, I'd have been well over $100. So that was a really good find. Garage sale stuff, guys. This is all garage sale stuff. And these boppets, I don't know what the deal is with them, but you know, you find them all the time, and sometimes in the little free buckets and stuff at garage sales. So the Boppet Extremes, I mean, this has, you know, paint chipping off of it and stuff like that. I just know when I see them that you can sell them because you can get them for a quarter. So, but yeah, that's sold. Got $10 shipping. I got this with a bunch of Nerf sets. Now, typically this the long shot sells for quite a bit more money than what I asked for it. But just because these sell for $50, $60 doesn't mean I should command or demand that. Because if you look closely, see the scope, see how it's faded, um, and you can just look at the gun. You can see the difference here. Let me show you here. See the difference in the color? That's because these things sat outside, okay? And I was clear about that. It's got wear and discoloration, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, that's really worn. So I didn't try to get top dollar out of it. Uh, and it sold, and it didn't have the front uh, barrel on it, so I put this extra barrel I had on it, and it sold. So just because you have something that sells really well, you know, condition is everything. So if you're trying to push something off that, oh, this is a great long shot, Nerf long shot, you know, sniper rifle, you know, and put it up at $60, $70, if people are paying this high premium, then they're going to expect to get a nice looking long shot if they're going to be paying top dollar. If you don't have a top dollar item, then don't expect to get a top dollar price, because I personally think, you know, when you are describing your item, especially if it's a used item, and you're describing it, okay, or if you can oversell your item by the price also. That's just my opinion. Um, because if somebody's paying top dollar for something, then they're expecting the top dollar item. If it's a substandard item, you know, then you need to price it accordingly. Like I said, that's just my opinion. And that's why a lot of my stuff, if I find issues with it at all, then the price significantly comes down. And that's just the way I do it. Sold this a couple times. Got $1.99 out of this. It's a snap-on torque wrench. I mean, this thing's big. It's a 600 foot-pound torque wrench. so big I had to take a picture of it outside. It was like 3.5 foot long. So the old snap-on stuff sells really well. Got these for like 10 cents a piece. Got two of them. The boxes, they were brand new. Boxes had some wear, some fading and stuff like that. But I sold one of them to a fellow reseller. She got it. And yeah, it was just like a quarter a piece, and sold them for $9.99 with $3 shipping. Got a huge lot of trains, and I have a ton of them. And what I did is I took some of the engines and I put them on eBay. Don't know anything about them. They're untested. And like I said, I mean this particular one could sell for quite a bit more money, but with it being untested and everything, I'm not going to ask that much of a price. Plus, what I have in it's going to be really easy money. But what I did is I took pictures of the big, huge lot and put it on OfferUp. And meanwhile, I was putting a couple of them on. So I got contacted by OfferUp, and somebody wants to buy it all. So a couple of them are going to be missing because I sold them already. But I gave them a good price. And here's another one. And if you have a set, if you've got a set of a train track, you could put it on there for your pictures. Use the piece of track for the pictures. I only had a couple pieces of track, but if you have them, use them. Here's another one of those water purifiers. Got this at a Salvation Army. I can't remember. I think I ended up getting it for $7.50 because it was a half off. I can't remember. I know I got it a lot cheaper than what it said on it. It may have said 15. I think I got it for $7.50. But yeah, it's got the 4 brand new filters. It only takes 2, the ceramic filters. So that was a good selling feature of mine. A lot of the others only had 2 filters with it. So and it had all the part. I mean, it was brand new, but it didn't have the box. So I took 200, I believe, on this. Let me check real quick. Oh, I took 220 on it. Yeah. So that was a really good sell. Okay. And here's another example of, don't oversell your stuff, folks. This thing sells for easily 20 plus. This is that sniper scope. I had an extra one. It's a sniper scope for that long shot from the Nerf gun. And don't oversell your stuff. As you can see, that it's got a lot of wear on it. So it's got wear and discoloration. Would be great for a paint job or a mod, because a lot of people do that. Whoever bought this probably repainted it to whatever they wanted it to be. So the condition of it really didn't matter to him. He just knew he was getting it at a good price. So, and that's what a lot of people do, especially Nerf guns people. If they're dirty, I mean, not dirt. If they're dirty, clean them up. But if they're faded and stuff like that, go ahead and put it up for sale. Don't just toss it because you think it's like, oh, just be descriptive, because there's a lot of people that do paint jobs on these. This is a pretty cool thing. I mean, this is from 1959. It's one of these things that the pilots would use, and I guess before they had all this high-tech stuff telling them where they are, it's called a navigation dead reckoning jet computer. So, but yeah, it sold for $30. Got a couple of these old holsters. So, sold them all out now. These are really neat. Just, you can tell they're old, and I had, a couple that were patent pending. People like this old stuff. And I probably could have got more for it, but I'd had it for a little while and I just lowered the price and it sold. I don't even have to explain the Walkman stuff, folks. This stuff just sells. That's all there is to it. Make sure you test it. It can have some scratches and stuff on it. Um, just make sure you test the stuff. Don't be that guy, because I don't know how many I've just tossed because you test them and they just don't work. Just don't work. And always check the battery compartments on these because these things will set and the batteries will leak. Don't be that guy. This is just an old vintage toy I got in a lot of the toys from Dusty from his garage. And it's a friction car. So, yeah, they're just neat. I got a bunch of these Rock Band stuff, the the dongles. And I got let's see, I believe it was a drum set. And it had a Ziploc baggie on top with like 5 or 6 dongles in it. And I'm like, oh yeah. I think the drum set was like $7.99 or I can't remember. I've got it in my notes. But yeah, I mean it's in you'll see the prices just for these dongles. It's crazy. But I got, 15 bucks for this one. I put $1 shipping on it. The reason why I did that is they're saying, okay, there's talk out there. It's like you get favored on Google if you have shipping when it comes to search. So I'm like, well, why not put $1 shipping on it? Because something like this, it should sell regardless, whether you're getting searched on Google or eBay. It's a high demand item, is what I'm saying. So I don't think it really matters, but I just did it just to do it. These things, guys, I'm telling you what, I've seen them before, and they're good to have around. They're tube storage systems, and I actually had a few of them, and I used them to send some stuff to somebody. So they look cheap, but they really command some good money. Sold 2 of these PlayStation 3 dongles for the guitars, 35 bucks a piece. So, and they were in that thing. So we're talking, there's $70 just in those 2 plus 15 on that other one. Not even including the drum set. So I got this at a garage sale. Had no idea what it was, but I sold uh, a pool cleaner power supply that hooks up. You hook it up and it goes just runs in the bottom of your pool, and those are worth some really good money. And it kind of looked like that, but I wasn't sure. But I ended up finding out it was a voltage step down transformer. So you're running 120 volts into it, and it steps it down to 100 volts. And it was in demand, so it sold pretty quick. This is a camera I got with a couple really cool lenses, and already sold the lens. This thing sat and sat and sat and sat, and somebody just finally bought it. But yeah, the camera bodies. Really cool shirt. Really cool shirt. Got this at Salvation Army with a bunch of Insane Clown Posse shirts. And this looks really psychedelic, and they sell for good money. This was the Los Angeles one, I believe. Yeah, 2007, I believe. But yeah, these band T-shirts sell good. Back to my vintage electronic stuff. I love the old headsets and stuff like that. So um, yeah, these are Pioneer. They called them open air. I think this was like the first model that they came out with that was considered open air. It wasn't, cupped over your ears. But yeah, the old Pioneer, old Sony, stuff like that. It's really good sell. And if they're in good condition, that's even better. So these things are heavy as hell, I'm telling you. They're bocce balls. I had these for a while, never listed them because they were so heavy. And but at $13, people are so afraid. I see this all the time. When they see something heavy, they think, "Oh my goodness, I don't even want to mess with it because it's too heavy." But guys, FedEx shipping with heavy items, it's not as bad as what you think. Not at all. These ended up going overseas through the global shipping program, and I think it was $12 to ship this to Kentucky through FedEx. And I'm talking, these things are heavy. So, yeah, because those are solid chrome balls or whatever. So, Harman Kardon, really good. Got this at a garage sale. Took 50 on this, I believe, or 55. But yeah, Harman Kardon is a really good name brand, top of the line stuff. And if you've got the manuals with them, that's even better. And I had some monster cables, so I threw a monster cable in with it. And always just clean it, dust your stuff off. The good old Keurig water reservoirs. I don't know. Do people break these things? I don't understand why people need them. I don't understand why people need them so often because these things sell all the time, every time. It doesn't matter. They sell. And I've used Keurigs forever. Keurig, whatever. But we've never broke them. I've never had to order a replacement or anything like that. I don't understand it. And no, we'll get Keurigs and we'll just part them out. So big disappointment. Um, this is why I hate auctions. I hate them. No matter how good the stuff is, I hate auctions. You just don't get the money that they're worth on auctions. This lot went for $45. It should have went for way more. This piece right here, the silencer piece, bottom right hand corner, I mean that thing is worth, it's just stupid. The belts for the Vulcan, those belts plus the belt holder is worth that's probably a $20 bill easy right there just for the belts and the belt holder. It's just, but somebody like me, I'll sit there and think, it's good stuff. Why not put it on auction? Because it should command what it should bring. And it didn't, but it is what it is, and you just move on. I think I did that one other time with these Legos that it kind of pissed me off. Here's the other Go Video VHS that I got. This actually went to the UK and to a museum. And this is really neat. It's neat that your buyers will contact you. But this actually went to a museum because they said over there, if they wanted to copy their systems to copy the tapes, the VHS tapes, it's a stackable type thing. And he said he was so excited to find this, and it's going into the museum over there for media or whatever it is. So I'm like, cool. And I got $50 for it. So sold these to another reseller. I believe I took 45 for them, but they sell really well. They're the water treatment filters. So you always hook up another reseller. Here's some more of those hard drives. Sold them right when this person told me that all those old MFM, they're useless, not in demand. You need to just take them down. And then sure enough, look, really? Tell me how useless this is. But yeah, that's what happens when you put your stuff out there. People go troll your uh, eBay account and try to criticize you. But you just deal with it. Awesome old 4 tracks. Uh, yeah, this is a France from France. It sold really well. New seal. Salvation Army. Uh, Samsonite Suitcase. I mean, it's a suitcase, guys. $99 plus $28 shipping. I mean, it's a suitcase. It was $7, I believe. And I mean, it's just get good pictures of it. Make sure that your handles aren't broken, or anything like that. I mean, it's good, very good condition. And I mean, it's easy money. Don't worry about it being big, guys. I mean, this thing was big. You put it in a box and you ship it. These are designed to withstand, being tossed around and stuff like that. As long as you protect it, as far as you don't have to even put any padding. Trust me, because if you order one brand new, it's gonna come in a box, and you open the box and it's just that. It's not in padding or anything like that. So, um, yeah, you pack it in a box and you send it. I think this was like $16 to send to California. It's not as expensive as what you think, and they pay $28 to ship. So it's not the big and heavy stuff. I don't think people are just intimidated that it's going to cost a fortune to ship. This is another one of the t-shirts I got at the Salvation Army, along with that tool and the Insane Clown Posse. Never been used. I mean, you could tell it was brand new. Never been washed, never been worn. Um, Excellent condition. And this is a Pensacola. This is one of those, I was there, and the person that got it was from Pennsylvania. So maybe they were actually down there April 6, 2000, and saw them. And this, they wanted the shirt that they went and saw, and wasn't able to get it. The old Bearcat programmable scanners, they're really cool for a lot of old, people like me. Vintage electronics. It's hard to listen to the police and stuff anymore. I think they're all like digital now, and it's not analog like this. But I'm not sure what people use them for anymore. We used to listen to people's cell phone or telephone, yeah, not cell phone, but wireless phone conversations on these. And I had 2 copies of this, and this is the other one that sold. But yeah, 200 bucks for 2 sealed 4 tracks. Got a ton of these alcohol shirts. And this is the bread and butter stuff. The same thing I was telling you about. Um, yeah, this is a problem. Okay, learn from this. Okay, you see this 19 available, 1 sold. That is not correct, because I've sold more than one of them. But what has happened is I had set these to continuously relist, and when it relists it, it takes it back to its original 20. So I need to go in there and fix that. And if you set your stuff to automatically relist and you have multiple quantities of it, from what it looks like, when it relists, it goes back to that original 20, if that's what you had. So I need to check into that. But yeah, these are all brand new. They're what they are it's like salesman event promotional type things. So yeah, that's Crystal Head Vodka. Pretty big name. I got this at a thrift store, and it's just an underwater. I put it down as used. The box has some wear, may need new batteries, no battery flags included. But you can see it still has the full thing of wire. I don't know how used it is, but I don't want to take any chances and call it new. So It's just not worth it, guys. If don't oversell your stuff. Don't oversell your stuff because you're going to take that expectation of that buyer way up, and it's just going to cause you problems. All these vintage typewriters that I picked up over, some time, I just stacked them, and yeah, they're heavy. Remember what I said about heavy stuff? No big deal. And you guys know how heavy these are, and you see I had shipping at $17. It did not cost more than $17 to ship this. So, and typically the FedEx, and I'm not talking the Smart Post or the whatever, the economy FedEx. I'm talking home delivery or um, FedEx Ground. So, but yeah, I mean, if you can find these typewriters that are in really nice shape like this, I mean, it's like they're put away and never used. Still had all the stuff with it, and got $70 for it with $17 shipping. Got some UGG boots for a few dollars. Kim picked these up. I mean, the bottoms are worn. As long as you show the wear and in your description, sole heel has wear. Body of boots are in nice condition, which they are. And then on stuff like this, these boots, people wear them like this, people can wear them like this, people can wear them like this. So you want to give them pictures of the many ways that they could wear them. So yeah, I got $50 out of those. Only paid a couple dollars for them. That's just a typical reselling flip. I mean, this is the bread and butter, folks. Nothing super special. It's just items out there that'll sell. Got this at a flea market. $7, I believe. I can't remember. It was in a haul video. And I've been getting these things. I've gotten quite a few of them. And they just sell really well. I guess the preppers want them. Same thing. Um, always do really well with the 3M, the respirator masks. You don't even have to have filters with them to sell them. They can buy those separate. Always sell well. Sold this to another reseller. He wanted to sell it on Amazon. Really good item. They bring really good money. So it's brand new. Got it at a garage sale for, I think it was a garage sale. Cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. Like a couple dollars cheap. Sealed Yahtzee game went to another reseller. I'm not going to say the price I got because it was lower than I would have taken, but he bought quite a bit of stuff. Same as this. Bought this too. To put on Amazon. But it's sold items, guys, and it's way over what I paid for them. Damn Yankees. Yeah. Always these older music bands, even if, they don't have a huge following, people like their stuff, and it was a tank top. So, yeah. This is really neat. Got this at a garage sale for 50 cents. Had it for a little while. It's just really kind of unique. Um, Still new. Uh, Somebody probably bought it as a gift. Somebody that loves Dalmatians because there's not a lot of them out there. Got these things for $2.50 a piece at a garage sale. They were still sealed. Some people told me I was crazy expecting to get that kind of money for them. I believe I got 120 for this one. But yeah, it's just a little keyboard, and it wasn't made for Americans. So I live in a military community. I'm pretty sure they were probably stationed over in Europe or something, and they brought them back. Also, Super Mario Brothers 4, I believe, is called something else, but they called it that overseas. So, but yeah, rare stuff. Sold well. And also the Nintendo, International Nintendo. So I think that's a little bit different than what we normally see here. Sold 2 of these phones to the same person. I've got like 4 more. I need to get them listed. $70 for them. Got it for $10 a piece. Went ahead and printed the manual out for them. I think that really would help if you have like a phone, especially a business phone, print the manual out so people know how to use it when they get it. It's just that little bit of extra that might put you over the top of those other sellers. I had these on my shelf back here and got these at a flea market for $7.50 a piece. Um, had them on my shelf right back here. I loved them. They're 70s, 80s colors of red, white, and blue. But they're made in Italy, I believe. They're Italian. But yeah, sold them for 92 bucks with $15 shipping. Think about it. $15 into 100 bucks ultimately is what it come out to. Here's two more of those. Or no, that was the other Beatles one. Yeah, I sold two. Sorry about that. Here's another one I sold. I believe it's an earlier Sony one for the Rock Band. But yeah, I think I got $23 for that. Texas Instruments graphing calculator. Okay, this is another thing you need to, you see this $30. Man, he left money on the table. No, because when I tested this, it has a couple of lines of dead pixels in them. Okay, it's really important. The lines, though, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see, like, over to the right where it says PRB. Okay, you can see on the R and the B, those lines of dead pixels. That's why. Okay, don't oversell your stuff. If you're testing it, don't just turn it on. Make sure that your pixels are you don't have lines of dead pixels. So that's why, I took $30 on it. Here's another one of those vintage typewriters I picked. You could get these things for $5, or cheaper at yard sales. I mean, it's just this thing was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, these things just, they're bought, they get put away, they don't get used, they don't get scuffed up. Uh, they have all the paperwork, the keys. It's just a really, really nice profit. So don't just walk past these old typewriters, guys. This is a really cool item. These old thermoses, it's from 1975. The person that bought this sent me a message how excited they were. They gave me feedback, positive feedback, like right after they bought it. Didn't even wait to get it. And they sent me a message. They're so excited. They have the box, the lunch box, but they lost the thermos. And they had it when they were a kid, and now they finally got the complete set again. And she was just so excited. It wasn't a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, I think this was a quarter. It's just that message. I don't know. It just really makes you feel good. So that was cool. That was cool. And here's another Keurig set. Um, I don't know, guys. It's just, I don't know why people need them. They just do, and I will continue to sell them. This one, the Keurig, the motor was just not working worth a crap. It was really loud, so I'm like, let me take the parts off of it that I know people want, and lot it together and sell them. So sure enough, I think it was $45. Here's another great item. Um, this thing was heavy, but as you see, I put $50 shipping on it. It cost me $36 to ship this to Kentucky because it went overseas. Um, don't oversell your stuff. There's paint loss, and stuff like that, and it has a couple issues. The carriage return issues. just make sure when you're testing this stuff that you disclose it. Because if it was perfect, top notch running, I'd probably have had 300 on it. Because I don't know, the red in this color just brings some really good money. Here's another awesome, just something you just didn't know. And the reason why this sold for this amount is because of these crossover pieces right here, these two pieces. And I had a ton of people message me just wanting to buy those pieces. How much? They said, how much would you take for just those pieces? And I said, 20 bucks a piece. So well, I can get the whole thing for $35. Well, to buy the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, and this is just the old Hot Wheels stuff, but those crossovers are in demand. I don't know why, but they are. So if you see the crossovers, because typically, I mean, you can pick this stuff up for literally nothing, guys. This was a pretty cool thing. I had this sitting for the longest time, and finally I'm like, okay, I'll get this thing listed. But the 450s bring some good money. You got your 105s, your 103s, your 100s, your stuff like that. No big deal. But the 450 does bring good money. There's another one that brings a lot more money, but I'm not even going to mention it because if you want to see which one that is, go watch Craigslist Hunter, his video, and you can see a Polaroid that looks just like this that sells for a lot of money. We're talking 500 to 800 probably, 400 to 800. So go watch the Craigslist Hunter's video, and you can catch a bolo there for these cameras. So, but yeah, this 450 quick sell, listed it, and it sold really quick. So that's awesome. Domino Rally. These Domino Rally things, they typically sell well. Got a lot of the parts bagged up and stuff like that. It's just a good, and you can get this stuff. This is one of the things I got at that church sale for like really cheap. This is just some microphones and a mixer, and I think I took $65 on it. But it's pretty cool. I don't know. You could have a nice podcast with something like that, I guess. Here's another typewriter that I had. And this actually went to somebody who, they sent a message saying it was for his mother. I guess she's elderly and she wanted to document her life. So instead of a computer, she wanted a typewriter that I guess hi-fi typewriter, because this thing, yeah, it memorizes and does all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, it's a really good typewriter. And he was really happy. So that's awesome. This thing, I swear, I tested this, I turned it on, and I about fell out of my chair. Yeah, they use these for birds, and it's loud. They're in demand. Quick sale, it was only a couple bucks, and I think I took 25 on it. More vintage electronics. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is a really nice, clean item. The wood grain stuff just really does well, guys. With the stuff in the wooden cases. You probably see these at yard sales and you're like, don't even worry about it. I'm telling you. I mean, I think I took 70 on this, and I'm telling you, for a couple bucks, I mean, it's easy money, and plus it's easier for me because I just enjoy the vintage electronics. Sold this to a fellow reseller. Didn't even know they existed. This is those things, the USB, like the record players, you can plug it up into your computer and, copy your records to your computer into MP3 format. Well, they have this, which does it for cassette tapes also. Never knew they existed until I found this one. So, not going to say what I sold it for because it went to a fellow reseller, and he's going to use it as a project. So that's cool. Wish him well with it. Here's another one of the vintage holsters. Um, yeah, this is the patent pending model for, was it Bianchi? But yeah, they're in demand. You find these old holsters like this. Here's the rock band that I got all those dongles with. And I think I took 65 on this. And so, I mean, you can add it up, all those dongles and stuff that I'd already sold that you'd seen earlier, plus this. And I think it was like 750 or something for the whole lot of them. So yeah, that was a really good flip. And here's another old, this is like a rarer typewriter. It's as you can see, it was used and it's pretty beat up. And it's the Hermes Rocket, and it's the green. It's the OD green. Okay, I think that's what set this one apart. In my title, even though it may not have been used for military, but it's the portable military field style OD green, and it is. I mean, this is if you're in the military and your commander or somebody would have something like this. It's a little portable, and that's just what it would look like. So I use that, and it sold really quick. And I mean, it's got paint loss. I mean, it's pretty rough shape, but I knew when I saw it that it would be a good sell. And a typical Polaroid. What I do is I have the film packs with the old film in it, and I'll take the picture, it'll spit it out, and then I'll set it down. So yeah, quick 24 bucks plus 389. Oh, I redid that one. Sorry. Yeah, powered vacuum hoses do really well. This is a TriStar. They just do well. Part them out. I already sold the head unit for it. This thing is about this big. This little Batman car, but it's old and they're in demand. People want them, and it had a broken windshield. Okay. If it didn't have that broken windshield, I'd have been asking a lot more money for it. But you can see that the quality, it's pretty crude. Um, but I'm telling you, this thing sells for some really good money if you didn't have the broken windshield. And this is just a typical pure water filters 3-pack. Got at the thrift store for like $2. Stuff like this, it just really excites me. I got these for $2. And to have this set in the original box and the paperwork is just, you just don't, it just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. So, yeah, to get $99 for a pair of old headphones with the original, I mean, you go on eBay right now and look up the HD 414. You can buy those, the earmuffs. You can see the little foamy stuff, but they're bright yellow. These are the originals, and some people, it's just, that's what it is. It's the original box, the original everything, and that's why, I got that kind of money for them. Big disappointment. Big disappointment. And let me know in the comments if you think this is a big disappointment also. I'm like, okay, Lego stuff, it'll bring what it should bring. It'll bring a good profit. If you put it on auction, well, it did not work. Didn't work. So, yeah, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Price guns always sell, guys. We've said that forever. This is just a one line. And make sure you show them. It's going to need an ink thing here shortly, probably. and this actually had an issue with it. And the little button thing to, I mean, it still opens, but you just got to make sure you let them know. Dream machines, I got two of them. People just like the old Dream machines. Nice shot leather vest. That went overseas to Germany, I believe. I think I took a 45 on that. Had that for a while, but it has some issues. I mean, it's just got some, you know, it's got not super clean, but it's old. I mean, and that's just if you're open and honest with it, you'll still do all right. Here's another one of those water filters, purification systems. Did really well on that. I mean, it's just these water purification systems, guys, if you come across them, I mean, you could even pay up on them. You could pay up to $100 on something like this and still, you know, make some really good money. But this was like cheap. I can't remember, but it was cheap. Like $15 maybe, something like that, $20. Nike, Kim, I leave this stuff up to Kim, and we typically, if you notice, we sell women's shoes. And she picks them up. I'm not a big, I'll pick up my Doc Martens. I know my Doc Martens and stuff, but she is really good at the women's shoes and what's in style and, you know, what people would want. So she's good at doing that. And, but yeah, always roll. I think we took $30 on those. Yeah, I had this Star Trek Mego sitting on my shelf also. Just a really cool piece. It did have some issues. You can see the discoloration. But I mean, it's just a really cool piece. If you're a Star Trek fan, you wanted this, or you do want it. So it sold pretty quick. Oh, this is a really cool item. I got this at that churchyard sale for $2. And it's a hand-tooled vintage like rifle case. And I mean, this thing is nice. This actually went to a movie prop company who bought it. And that was really neat. So that's it, guys. We are at 101 things. Took an hour and 2 minutes. So if you made it through to the end, I really appreciate it. And I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Yeah, that took an hour. That's something for the record books, huh? Sales update video that took an hour. But if you liked what you saw, you know, please hit the like button, leave a message. If you don't like what you saw, let me know. If you think I'm full of crap, let me know. So, would appreciate that thumbs up if you made it all the way to the end. Cool. Appreciate it, and we will catch you next time.